Welcome to the 7 worst ingredients for blood sugar. Some glucose-wrecking foods are easy to spot, but what dark secrets lie inside your everyday home-cooked meals? Did you know that using even just a small amount of some common ingredients can increase your risk for diabetes and its many complications? So, what's really inside your cupboard? Let's find out. The 7 worst cooking ingredients for your blood sugar. First, here's a major blood sugar heightening culprit: cornstarch. Cornstarch obviously comes from corn, and of course, corn is highly starchy. Chances are you've already used this ingredient in a soup, stew, or sauces, or to increase the crunchiness of your fried foods, and probably even in your home-baked cakes and breads. But did you realize that using just 1 cup of cornstarch will give you a whopping 488 calories and 117 grams of carbohydrates, with only 1 gram of fiber? It is also mostly devoid of nutritional value, only really supplying empty calories and large helpings of sugar. And don't be fooled. While food corporations claim that raw cornstarch is low glycemic, once it is cooked, it becomes part of a high glycemic index food, and eating it may quickly skyrocket your blood sugar. It's also a main reason why consuming products made with cornstarch, like those tempting pastas, white breads, and French fries, can add on the pounds and potentially cause gastrointestinal issues, including bloating, constipation, and diarrhea. So, if you are looking for a better stew ingredient or baking option, what should you use? I'll tell you at the end of this video, so stick around. Next, this buttery substitute may be a secretly toxic time bomb: margarine. You may think avoiding high-fat butter makes margarine a winning choice, but beware. Margarine is an extremely processed product that contains additives, preservatives, and emulsifiers. Some chemicals within this fake butter have even been labeled as carcinogenic, and studies suggest that these additives may lead to a variety of diabetes-related issues, including inflammation, damage to the digestive system, and heightened insulin resistance. Meanwhile, many margarine products on the market still contain some amount of toxic trans fats, which are linked to heightened levels of low-grade inflammation, arthritis, weight gain, and obesity. Plus, did you know that your margarine is metallic? Many margarines are produced using toxic metals like cadmium and nickel, which have been found to create respiratory and kidney problems, high blood pressure, and arteriosclerosis. Meanwhile, though it contains less than butter, margarine still gives you that dreaded saturated fat, the type of fat associated with increased LDL cholesterol. That can lead to clogged arteries and heart disease. In fact, results of a recent Harvard medical study showed that females who regularly consumed margarine had a higher incidence of heart disease than women who ate that same regular portion of butter. But if butter is still so high in fat, what is the best solution to this cooking conundrum? Stick around and learn the truth. And what other popular baking ingredient is better left out of your next batch of cookies? I'll tell you. That's coming up next. First, here are 2 ingredients you probably have stored safely inside your fridge at this very moment: barbecue sauce and ketchup. You probably use one or another multiple times per week, but you may be shocked to learn how much unhealthiness is contained in a single tablespoon of these meal staples. First off, barbecue sauce and ketchup are loaded with sodium, which can mess with your blood pressure and heighten your risk of heart disease, obesity, and diabetes. But what's even more damaging is their high content of added sugar. While amounts may vary, many barbecue sauces can contain over 7 grams of sugar per tablespoon. That's about 14% of your recommended daily sugar limit in a single tablespoon. Even a tablespoon of ketchup gives you 7% of your daily sugar and 7% of your daily salt. But don't think you'll avoid heart and diabetes damage by choosing low sugar or low salt varieties. To compensate with the loss of flavor, diet sauces are typically filled with artificial sweetening agents. Artificial sugar may help you avoid a blood sugar spike, but it can still create an insulin spike. Chronic high insulin levels can lead to conditions like increased fat storage, abnormal cholesterol levels, and even fatty liver disease. So I'm not saying you need to deny yourself these meal essentials completely. Just try to enjoy these excessively sweet and salty sauces in serious moderation. Okay, I'd like to know, what ingredients do you try to limit and why? Comment below. And stay tuned, because I'm about to reveal a supposedly natural and healthy sugar replacement that is really no better for your blood sugar. Now, some baking ingredients are necessary, but if you can help it, try to avoid sweetened condensed milk. The name says it all. Sweetened condensed milk contains a significant amount of added sugar. In fact, a 100-gram can of sweetened condensed milk typically contains 54 grams of carbohydrates, all in the form of sugar. With zero fiber content, this is a high glycemic index ingredient, even when used in smaller amounts, and can easily lead to a rapid rise in your glucose levels. And, oh yeah, sweetened condensed milk also contains a significant amount of artery-clogging, cholesterol-increasing saturated fat. So overconsuming foods made with this high-carb, high-calorie, low-nutrition product can easily lead to weight gain, obesity, heart disease, and diabetes. Therefore, for your next pie or batch of cookies, sweetened condensed milk may not be your best option. What should you use instead? Stick around to find out. Do you already know some secret baking tips for healthier desserts? Please let our community in on your diabetes fighting powers and comment below. So, what single ingredient is behind most of the food world's unhealthiness? The answer is just ahead. First, I'd like to take a closer look at one dessert addition that is supposed to be a healthier sugar alternative for diabetics. But is it really? This is maple syrup. It is true, this classic syrup is actually a bit lower on the glycemic index scale than refined sugar, but not by much. And while it does contain some high levels of beneficial nutrients, especially zinc and manganese, most doctors and nutritionists believe that calorie for calorie, you would be better suited to get these micronutrients from whole foods, like whole grains, lean meats, and even black coffee. What maple syrup gives you plenty of is multiple types of glucose spiking sugar, including sucrose and fructose. And just a fourth of a cup of maple syrup holds a whopping 220 calories and 54 grams of carbs, all in the form of sugar. In fact, maple syrup is high enough in sugar that many doctors and dentists warn that overdoing your intake of this breakfast staple can lead to tooth decay, cavities, and other serious dental issues. So at its core, this beloved breakfast and baking ingredient is just another high-carb, high-glycemic, glucose-spiking addition to your baked goods. What sweetener should you use? I'll let you know at the end of this video. And don't move, today's number one worst choice is coming up next. First, I'd like to introduce you to one of the most problematic ingredients on the planet: white flour. Yes, this is the center of the bad ingredient world, because it is the main reason why your beloved breads, cookies, and cakes can skyrocket your blood sugar. Due to the refining process, which strips away the nutrient-dense bran and germ portions of the grain, by the time this product reaches your kitchen, only the carb-heavy, nutrient-empty endosperm remains. And this is what is behind regular white flour's lack of nutritional power, but otherworldly ability to cause blood vessel inflammation, increased cholesterol levels, and a heightened risk of cardiovascular disease. Research also shows that regularly consuming foods made with white flour can lead to fat gain and may reduce your body's efficiency at burning fat. Overconsuming refined white flour has also been found to lead to gut inflammation, which can further mess with your weight, your blood pressure, and your blood sugar. But guess what? Switching from white flour to whole grain flour can reduce your post-meal glucose response by 40%. That should clue you in as to what I would recommend as a healthier flour option for your blood sugar. But what about replacements for the other naughty ingredients on today's list? It's just about time to show you some excellent alternatives, so stick around. Now, here is one final, extra unhelpful meal staple you should definitely cut back on: American cheese. Did you know that cheese is actually low in carbohydrates? So what's so wrong with this patriotic cheese? Well, don't get it twisted. Cheese may not be excessively high in carbohydrates, but processed varieties, especially American cheese, can contain a huge portion of added sugars, along with extra carb content, in order to enhance its flavor and texture. And while some cheeses give you an assortment of beneficial nutrients, like calcium and protein, the extreme processing of American cheese makes it far less nutritious than most other varieties. What it will give you plenty of, however, are calories, saturated fat, and sodium. In fact, a single slice of American cheese will net you 21% of your recommended daily sodium limit. Just one slice of American cheese also gives you 9 grams of total fat, with 5 grams of saturated fat, and 102 calories. Plus, some varieties of American cheese may contain those abysmal trans fats, along with potentially harmful chemical additives and preservatives. Not surprisingly, studies show overdoing your American cheese intake can lead to weight gain, heightened insulin resistance, higher cholesterol, and a greater chance of developing diabetes. So, for your next delicious but sensible cheese sauce or sandwich accompaniment, leave this classic in the fridge and in the past. But what cheese would I recommend? Well, instead of highly processed, high-sodium American cheese, try Swiss cheese. It only contains 2% of your recommended daily limit of salt. Also, ditch the white flour and replace it with almond flour, oat flour, or whole wheat flour. Leave out that maple syrup and use a small amount of natural honey. Want to avoid that sweetened condensed milk? Use coconut milk or a mixture of powdered milk and hot water. Instead of high sugar ketchup, use a bit of tomato paste, tomato jam, or pesto sauce. What buttery ingredient should you use instead of margarine? Believe it or not, butter. It is high in fat, but it is also far less processed. Better yet, use a small amount of nutrient-dense olive oil. And instead of cornstarch, try ground flax seeds, wheat flour, or tapioca starch. They supply glucose-stabilizing fiber and protein, along with heart-helping omega-3 fatty acids.